Hello and welcome. My name is Melanie Clampett, and I am the owner of Studio B in Napa, California, where people show up to lighten up, get happy, and free. And I'm excited to introduce you to the beautiful Lily Ann Page of Lily Loves Yoga. She's doing some beautiful classes at the studio, and I would just love for you to get to know her even more. She is a beautiful yoga instructor in Napa, California, comes from a past of go-go dancing, glitter, entertainment, and I'm excited to see where this conversation goes today. Welcome, Lily.
Hi, thanks for having me. This is so exciting.
Beautiful. So I'm wondering if you can give us a little bit of what led you to learning yoga and sharing it.
Yeah, so I have always been a very active, kind of moving with my hands already, dancey type person. I have a lot of energy, and I took up running in high school. And part of the cross training with running was to do stretching and yoga. So we got a little bit of that in our lives as runners in high school. But then when I went on to college and I kept doing cross country and track, I was the captain of the cross country women's team in college, and they really had us doing yoga. That was like the cross training, and everyone was complaining and everyone was having a hard time, especially me. I had the tightest hamstrings of anyone. And yoga was starting to actually help me. And I started to accept that maybe this is something that's nice to do. And then after college, I just kept seeking out yoga studios and finding different places to go and trying all the kinds of yoga. So I really, really enjoyed it, and it kept helping me. I could go on, but
Well,
that was the root of it.
one of the things I love about that story is, so often people are like, well, if you teach yoga, like you've always loved yoga. And you're like, yeah, no, not really. I actually didn't really. And then I noticed, oh, it works. It's
Yeah.
actually really helping. And I think
Like,
that
wait a
that is,
minute.
I think that's true for a lot of people, but you don't hear that, you don't
Yeah,
hear that often. So I
yeah.
appreciate.
Well, I think that I'm very much a visual person. I studied art. There's some photos I took in college, and I think that beautiful things always attract me to them. I'm like a raven. So I loved the idea of yoga and the yoga culture and the yoga outfits, of course, and all the things. It looked very nice, and it was drawing me in. And obviously it's way more than just how it looks. My whole mantra now is it's not how it looks, it's how it feels, which is a long way from the root of that. But yeah, it drew me in, and as I learned more and more, it just kept expanding. So it started as this, like, this is hard. I don't want to do this, but I think I like it, and I think it's starting to work, to okay, this is the focus now. This is good.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
So when we were talking before we got on today, I was asking about some of your past because I've seen on your social media these amazing parties that you go to, and you've got glitter and wigs and hula hoops. I'm like, who is this woman? And I want to go to a party with her. So can you tell us a little bit about this part of your life, and where does that meet yoga? Where does this go with the it's not just how it looks, but also how it feels?
Yeah, so I've always loved dancing. I've always loved being kind of at the center of a party, like helping make it happen, helping it be fun and exciting, silly, whatever that means. I like to bring like toys to share, whether it's like a bubble machine or a hula hoop. I just love to move, and I love to bring that with me. It's also a way for me to have something to do, because I am over 2 years sober from drinking now. So I'm not drinking at parties. I want to do something. So I have a hula hoop. I'm doing that. People are entertained and amused by it, and I have something to do, and it's super fun. I used to be a go-go dancer in Portland, Oregon. I moved there after college, and I think the first weekend I went there, I went to this gay club, and they had all these super hot, amazing go-go dancers on the stage, and I was like, I want to do that. How do I do that? Who's in charge here? And I literally met the event planner that day, and He's like, great, you can come next month. This is your outfit. And that's your payment. You get paid in this outfit and maybe you'll make some tips. I was like, cool, I just want to dance. So yeah, I felt like it was a safe environment because it was a gay club. I wasn't going to be, groped by a bunch of drunken men, and it just felt really good. So I started doing that. I did that for 3 years. I'm sure there's lots of dramatic photos of me online from 2009 and 10, but it really
Everybody hear
gave,
that? Start your Google search now.
woo, yeah, they're not hidden, they're out there. It's fine. But it gave me a lot of confidence in being on stage, moving my body, being out there. And I got a lot of mixed reviews. Family was concerned that, are you a stripper? I'm like, no, I'm just dancing. I'm getting out this big energy that I have. How do I do that? And I stopped go-go dancing. There's not really a go-go dancing scene in Napa, although I have tried. But now people know that, hey, like, Lily could help dance. Lily could help hula hoop. Like, sometimes it's a paid gig. A lot of times I'm just doing it with friends or for a friend's event because I love to push others to keep creating and doing and having fun things to do for people. Like, whether or not I'm drinking or not, like, please keep having parties, and I want to be a part of it, help it be successful for you. And yeah, I love it.
I love that too. So one of the things I've noticed throughout my life is how there's this part of my life I've enjoyed, there's this part of my life, and sort of like where they end up coming together in the future in a way I would not, ever have imagined. So for you, where have you noticed that part of your life and the yoga world coming together in a way that surprised you?
Yeah, so I would say when I discovered Buti Yoga, which is Buti, not the booty butt, but Buti, that's what I focus on teaching now. And it is a style of yoga that incorporates a little bit of dancing, some plyometrics, and yoga. And I found that I got to kind of dance and move around to amazing music that I would love to have at a nightclub, but I'm also doing yoga. I'm not just partying and yelling and losing my voice. I'm actually able to tune into the music, which drives the movement. And there's not a set regimented way that you're moving. It's like how it feels. So I'm like, oh my God, I get to dance and do yoga and listen to cool music and shake my butt a little bit and, maybe have a black light on, or put a little gemstones on people's faces. Like, we could look cool and have fun and do fun things. This is the best. So that's
And
how it
like
intersects for me.
and I love that so much. I'm somebody who gets pretty bored, doing the same thing. And as much as yoga is awesome, I love that combination of like a party and you get to bring your enthusiasm and fun mixed in with moving the body. Um,
Yes.
I
Yes.
love it. So
Yeah.
I do want to address this because I know some
Yeah.
people have a point of view about Buti Yoga that it's so, 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 so hard. So is there a way that you do this a little bit different?
Yes. So definitely in my Buddha yoga training, which was 2018, and this was 4 years after I did a vinyasa training, I noticed that yes, there's very specific ways, of course, for vinyasa. There's ways that you do everything. Buddhi can be really difficult. And I think that when it started out, it was all about like tone the body and be intense and very much high lows. And that's great. And you can do that. I want it to be approachable for other people. So while I do have moments of, oh my gosh, this is hard, like, oh my gosh, oh my quad, I say that a lot, oh my quad. I make sure that there's pauses and there's slow flows and there's movement. And a lot of the time, you don't actually reap the benefits of all this intense movement without the pause. A lot of the time, maybe we'll do some salutations, move around a little bit, or doing chair pose. And then I have you stand in mountain pose and just close your eyes, and the music slows down. You actually feel that tingling in the body. You can actually feel it start to work its magic. So we're not just running in circles and hands in the air the whole time. We're pausing in between and actually feeling it. And it's about feeling and tuning into yourself. So
which is beautiful. And I'm glad you led into that. So so let's say you do a yoga class at the
yeah,
studio, and I know you teach yoga all around the Napa Valley, and beyond.
yeah.
Um, so let's say someone wants to, come and join you for a slow flow class or the Buti Yoga. Like, what is your intention when people come to do yoga class with you?
Well, I like to meet people where they are. So the first thing I do is, I try to get some eye contact as they walk in, see what their mood is, see what their energy is. Do they look a little intimidated or scared? I try to be very approachable and, fun and welcoming and a little silly. And I try to make a lot of adjustments in how I present what to do. You don't have to do this exact way. Another option is this option to do this. Or, hey, maybe your arm doesn't reach here, try here. So I'm using this verbiage throughout class, not pointedly at one person. So we're all in it together and we all have the option to do the other thing. I don't want people to be looking around like, oh my God, my knee isn't up like theirs is. Like, I can't do this. It's like, just, be in it, feel it. Maybe you stand up instead of squat, like whatever you got to do. I
Well,
want people
and
to feel like they can be there.
yeah. Well, I love that, really allowing people to show up and be where they are, meet them where they are. Because so often we get in and we look around and we want to compare ourselves to
Yeah.
other people and judge whether we're doing a good job or a bad job. So I love that you create the space of like, hi,
Yeah.
welcome in.
Yeah.
Let's see where you are. And here are some
Yeah.
ways that you can do it the best. And it's going to feel the best to you. And I guess that's again like
Yeah.
not what it looks like, but what it feels like.
Yes, yes, that's what it all comes back to. And I start out I think every class, especially if there's a new person, don't be intimidated by trying to look exactly like me. It's not how it looks, it's how it feels. Just keep tuning back into the body. And there's times throughout classes where we're actually pausing again and checking in, what's going through your mind, what's going through your body, feel your heartbeat, what's your energy right now. And it's a pause and it's almost a somatic check-in. If anyone's familiar with somatics, I'm deep into learning about that world. And it's just a pause with where you are right now. Um, we don't slow down enough. And even in Buti, where we're moving around, we're slowing down.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you're doing an event, a goddess Buti yoga class. So can you talk a little bit about what's the difference between your 1 hour Buti yoga and then the longer goddess Buti yoga?
Yes. So I love ceremony. I love ritual and tradition. And I'm always looking for a way to incorporate more of that into my life and give that option to people in the community. I think we all want more community and ritual, and ceremony is just fun. Ceremony for me is about creating a beautiful, like creating a beautiful altar space. Maybe I invite people to bring a crystal or something shiny that they love, and we place it on the altar, put lights and candles, just a space to kind of focus the joyful energy on. And we might start out class with a little bit of journaling, a little meditation. Maybe we're answering some questions. There's usually a guideline to the evening, but there's an hour of practice within that. And it's a little more luxuriating and long. The Buti yoga class, that's an hour, is an hour of movements and sealing the deal with that. But the ceremony, something before, something after, a chance to connect with the ladies around you. And we often talk about, how you feel as a goddess and how others feel as a goddess. And in the last ceremony we did, I actually had people write little anonymous love notes to each lady in the group. They did not have to read them aloud. And we didn't all know each other. And by the end of it, we each had a little stack of 10 notes of adoration, like, I love your hair, or your energy is so grounding, or you have a beautiful smile, whatever it is. We didn't know who they were from. And it often reflects who we want to be. It's who we already are. So I try to bring that to people too.
Yeah,
Like, hey, I'm
I
great.
love that. I love that. Who we would like to be is who we are.
We already are
Usually,
usually.
usually the last ones to know,
I know.
which is which is amazing. And in the access consciousness work I do, one of the things we talk about is that when you be something, you don't feel it. You just are
Mhm.
it. And that's why sometimes we step into energies we've been choosing toward, all of a sudden we're like, oh, I don't feel it. And we often won't acknowledge
Yeah.
what we're being. So I love that you bring in these pieces of having ourselves reflected, reflected, how
Yes.
it can be so incredibly valuable for that, to get that acknowledgement. And I'd be like, oh, actually, I didn't realize I would like to show up as that in the world, and getting the reflection of like, oh, maybe I am.
Yeah. It's just it's a nice reminder. I think, yeah, like you said, a lot of the time we're the last people to know, and we think we might know, and we have an inkling, or we're always striving to be more of that, but that's usually the first impression people have of us. And there was one woman who, she had described her goddess in her mind as someone in nature, in the forest, very grounded, and all the cards coming back to her. And no one, she only knew two people in there, by the way, I think maybe two or three, not the whole crowd. And almost all the cards were like, you seem so grounded. You have a very grounding energy. Your presence is grounding. Like that word was, we're all using it to describe her. And she's like, well, I guess I'm doing it. I guess I'm there.
I
Okay.
love that. I love that. And that's, so much, my intention in creating this, the studio and the space has really been people can actually relax into themselves
Yes.
and feel welcomed in the space, but that the space becomes a place where they relax into being them, and that
Yes.
they're welcomed home to themselves. And like you're saying, like we're there, and often it's just getting those reminders that we are, so we can actually just be like, oh, okay, oh, relax into me.
Yes. Yes.
So I want to ask you a couple of questions. Um, because I'm loving this conversation. Like,
Yeah, it's
thank you
great.
for coming in, and I'm so happy that you all are getting to meet Lily. So is there something about you that you think surprises people,
Hmm.
that you wouldn't mind sharing with us?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and I already touched on it, but just the running, and running was a huge part of my younger adult life, and I'm 35 now. But I think I started running around age 15. So in my teenage years and early 20s, it was very much like running, 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 and just kind of running myself to the ground, honestly. It was, how fast can I go? How long can I go? How much can I tick off my checklist, my workout list? And I really found that it led me to the path of slowing down and taking pause and appreciating my body more with yoga. A lot of times I would injure myself in running. I actually have broken my foot a couple different ways and times, rolled all my ankles, hurt my knee. Running is hard on the body. And it's also wonderful. And I feel like I have learned a lot about the body from running and from injuring myself. It's given me way more understanding and compassion for others. So when people come in and say, oh, I got a bad knee, oh, I broke this bone, I'm like, girl, I get it. I understand. And try this and try that. And maybe this is not happening for you today. But yeah, a lot of people don't know that I used to be a big runner, and that was like my whole world. And I love both, and they both go together. But I once had a yoga teacher. I was deep into the Ashtanga world, which is very regimented, very much this is one way, you do it this way, and you progress. And I had this teacher, um, he said, Lily, you can either run or you can do yoga. You can't do both. And I was like, ah, how could you tell me that? But I've learned that yoga is the focus now. So I would say maybe 80% yoga, 15 to 20% running.
Beautiful. Well,
But
I love that you're doing it your own way. Right?
yeah,
Lots
yeah,
of points of views out there. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is definitely something I did not know about you. And
Oh,
the other question is, what's something that brings you joy?
glitter. Glitter. I think everyone knows this about me if you've met me at all. I usually have glitter somewhere on my body on purpose or not. Usually whoever I'm with has glitter on them as well. My lovely fiance Peter has accepted the glitter saga that has entered into his life. Um, yeah, glitter makes me happy. Everything I buy is sparkly or shiny in some way. I think I'm a raven. I think I was a raven in another life, just like collecting shiny things in my nest.
It's beautiful. I love it. So people may find themselves with something sparkly on them if they join you for one of your goddess Buti Yoga classes or whatever it is that you create. So what are some of the classes you have coming up at Studio B?
Yeah, so gosh, well, this week I have a lot going on, which is exciting. This week, let's see, I have slow flow, which is a chance for people to slow down, and that's on a Wednesday night before your sound bath. So if they want to really chill out and relax, they can do an hour of slow flow, which is very slow guided movements, holding poses longer, kind of like yin, but a little more, circling the body and moving around. Yeah, and then they could stay for sound bath after. And then I have the Buti Goddess ceremony coming up, and followed by Thursday night weekly Buti classes of an hour. So yeah,
Beautiful. Oh, well,
yeah.
I'm so happy to have you at the studio and contributing all of this delicious, glittery, sparkly, like joyful enthusiasm. And and I love that you were inviting people to really to take that pause and check it and go with what they feel, not just needing things to appear a certain way. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So how can people find you in the classes? Because you do classes all over the Napa Valley. Um,
Yes.
I know you're also available for private events.
Yep, I
So
am.
cool.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Yeah, so I got a website called lilylovesyoga.com. That somehow that handle and domain was not taken. I was like, oh my God. lilylovesyoga.com. And then my Instagram, where I post a lot of like weekly and daily story updates, is lilylovesyoga underscore on Instagram. So yeah, that's how you can find me. And I'm on there frequently. So you can message me there. And all my classes are listed in my link tree or online. And yeah, you can find me.
Awesome. Well, thank you for opening up and letting us get to know you a bit more. And I'm excited for all of you who are going to come do a class with Lily that you get to experience. And I would just love to keep the conversation going as well. So we'll definitely have Lily back for more. Um, so until we meet again, may all of life come to you with ease, joy, and glory. And we look forward to seeing you at Studio B, where you can lighten up, get happy and free right here in the Napa Valley. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.